neck pain. Okay, so now we're going to talk a bit about neck pain and what are some of the common causes of neck pain and what you can do for neck pain. And we'll also run through an MRI and an X-ray of the neck, so you can get a better idea as to what these scans show and how it is we can approach a person's neck pain given that information. So I'm going to draw a little schematic of the neck bones. Okay, so this is a rough diagram of the spinal bones of the neck. Okay, now the neck has a natural curve to it. So for example, if this is your head, okay, so the neck itself has a natural curve this way. Okay, now when speaking about neck pain, you have to look at the structural components of the neck and how it is defects in these structures can cause neck pain. So these are the bones here. This is also part of the bones of the neck. This here, those are the bones you feel when you press on your neck right here. Now, in between the bones are going to be the discs. Okay. Now, if you look at the disc from the top, it'll look something like this. And the disc has two main parts, the outer part, which is a tough fibrous ring, and the inner part, which is the jelly. Okay. Now, to keep this entire structure together, there are also ligaments that attach bones to bones, as well as to their muscles that help support the structure, that also allow for movement of the neck. For example, let's take a situation where a person has neck muscle spasm. For example, a person gets into a car accident, they hit from behind and they develop the classic whiplash. Now, in whiplash or neck muscle spasm, the natural curvature of the neck is lost. So for example, if this is the normal layout of the bones forming this curve, what tends to happen is that this curve is lost, and when an MRI or an X-ray is done, what you don't see is this, but rather a structure like this. So what you have is a curve now being laid out in a straight fashion because of the muscular spasms. Okay, so muscular spasms is one very common cause of neck pain. A person doesn't necessarily need to be in a car accident to develop neck muscle spasm. A person could be at the gym lifting with bad form, or not doing stretching or mobility work, and they can develop neck muscle spasm. People at the office who are always, let's say, hunched over a desk. People who overwork their neck muscles by holding a particular position or a poor ergonomic position for long periods of time, or not taking a break from your workstation, can also lead to neck muscle spasm. And then when the X-ray is done, what you see here is a straight layout of the neck bones as opposed to a curved layout. Okay. So neck muscle spasm, very common cause of neck pain. Okay, so now let's talk about the classic pinch nerve. The spinal cord runs through here. There's a spinal canal. The spinal cord runs through here. Now, what happens here, it is that the nerves that exit the spinal cord to supply the arms and the hands, there are certain exit points along the spine. Conceptually, I'm going to represent it like that. Now, if you have a herniated disc or a bulging disc or a ruptured disc, what may happen is that when the disc bulges, it is going to compress on the exit point or the nerve at the exit point. Let's say, for example, here. And now here, it's going to develop inflammation because the compression, it is a form of injury. And then what you get here is an inflammatory reaction that then what happens is that the signals that develop at this point, the brain is going to interpret as pain. So, for example, a person with a pinched nerve in the neck, a pinched nerve due to a bulging disc or a herniated disc, is going to get possibly some pain, tingling, and numbness coming down the arm or even all the way into the hands. The degree of the pain and how far the pain radiates down is dependent on the severity of the herniation or the severity of the nerve pinching. Okay? So herniated disc leading to a pinched nerve can also be a source of neck pain as well as arm pain. Now, a next common cause of neck pain will be a ligamentous strain. Now remember, this entire structure here is held together by the ligaments. It's not a free-floating structure. Okay? So again, the bones of the neck, discs, because you have ligaments that keep the entire structure together. So if a person again is involved in an accident, or if they're holding out a certain position for a long period of time, not taking a break from your desk, unless you strain ligaments in the neck, strained ligaments too can also be a source of neck pain. In the case of strained ligaments, what you may get in conjunction with that is a muscular spasm, because the mechanism that may have led to the strained ligaments may also very well lead to muscle spasm. So a lot of times it may not only be one issue that is causing your neck pain, but it could be a combination of factors. Okay. So to recap, some of the main causes of neck pain, by no means this is a comprehensive list, but what you have here, like I said, muscle spasm, pinched nerve, and remember this can be due to like a bulging disc. Okay, we also have the arthritis, and then we have ligamentous strain. Okay, of course there are other medical conditions that can lead to neck pain, but these are four main ones. But you have other conditions. For example, you can have rheumatoid arthritis. You can have fractures of the neck due to trauma. Okay, cancer spread to the spine can also lead to neck pain. Okay, so now that we've spoken generally about neck pain, we can take a look at a couple scans, an MRI and an X-ray. Now here is an MRI of the neck. This is the base, that's the base of the brain here. Okay, again, these are the neck bones. These little lines here, those horizontal structures, those are the discs. Okay, now remember we spoke about the neck muscle spasm. This is way too straight. This person is definitely suffering from neck muscle spasm. The person has lost the natural curvature of the neck, and now it is straight. Okay, see that there. Remember we spoke about the spinal cord and the spinal canal. Here is the spinal cord right here. Okay, that's the spinal cord right here. All right, and because this is an MRI, and the MRI takes shots as if it's slicing through the person. Of course, typically in actuality here will be all closed off and sealed off, but because the MRI is gradually slicing the person, so to speak, and to take the shots, you can see the spinal cord within the spinal canal very clearly. Also, what I want you to notice here is that there is a slight bulge, slight herniation right there. You come across, you can see another one manifest itself right there. And I want to show you something. See how this bulges where it slightly touches the spinal cord. Okay, there is some indentation into the spinal cord, but it has not completely locked off the spinal cord or compressed it. There is a bit of an indentation there, but in my opinion, I don't think this is enough to actually cause the person any symptoms. I would think the person's symptoms of neck pain would be more coming from the neck muscle spasm that the person clearly has. Okay, now here is X-ray of the neck. Okay, we'll start with this side first. This is the side shot. Again, that's the head here. That's the back of the head. You can see the teeth and the mouth here. Okay. Now, what I want you to notice, there is this person does have the curve in the neck, so there's no muscle spasm here really to speak about. However, what is pretty obvious here is the arthritis. You can see right here. These are the bone spurs or the osteophytes. Right? You can have arthritis here. You can have it on this end, but on this diagram, on this X-ray, it's very obvious at the front. And these bone spurs here are not natural. That's signs of arthritis. You watch here how clean and crisp this edge is here, as opposed to the spikes, so the spurs that you see right there. Also, I want you to see that there is some loss of disc height. You can see right, if you compare this space, maybe this space, but there seems to be overall loss of disc height at all levels, but here it's a bit more severe. Okay, Okay, ideally this should actually be a bit more. There should be a bit more space there, but this person is an older person. Person born in 1968. Okay, that's 60s, I think. 60s. Okay, so what happens here, right? So we see the bone spurs, loss of disc height more so, and this here is a potential pinch point for nerves that do exit. There's a possibility that this person would have suffered from some pain traveling down the shoulder into the arm. A possibility, not absolutely 100% sure. In this case, I would definitely have to examine the person and take their medical history. But there's potential for that over there. But there's really no muscle spasm. The curve it's there. This is the front shot. What is very obvious on the front shot is the tilting. You can see the spine is not straight from the front. Okay, it definitely has tilted. It is possible this person may have had some scoliosis. So I'm only getting the neck and part of the upper back here. The rest of the spine, of course, will be down here and not in the shot. But what happened here, you can see there's a definite tilting. If you look at the jaw, the base of the jaw, you can see there's definitely some tilting. This left side is higher than the right side. Okay, and there are signs of arthritis on the neck that are a bit more clear on the front shot. Okay, and this here is the top of the heart that you're seeing here. This space right here, that's the windpipe that you're seeing here. This blacked out area right here that you're seeing. So that's the windpipe. Of course, you got your ribs and your collarbone or your clavicles that you see right there. But yeah, so this person here, neck pain, source of neck pain will likely be arthritis with the possibility of some nerve pinching at this point here that may have the person reporting some pain or some tingling down the arm. Okay. Okay, now we're going to speak about the treatment of neck pain, and there are many options available. So I'm just going to go through a few of them and give some explanation as to how it is they are used. Now, in treatment of neck pain, the initial thing a person may want to do for some temporary comfort, medication. Two general classes we're looking at here: anti-inflammatory and muscle relaxants. Now, the medication, they can be your standard over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, or there are other natural anti-inflammatories that are available. Okay, so in the case of anti-inflammatory medication, if there's any sort of nerve pinching that is associated with the neck pain, the anti-inflammatory medication can help with that pain control. If there's some tight muscles that are associated with the neck pain, again, muscle relaxants are helpful. For more long-term relief, we recommend massage and physiotherapy. In most cases, there are some cases where this will not be indicated and surgery might be the only way out, but we'll get to that in a while. But for the majority of cases, your neck pain, massage, physiotherapy. The massage, of course, is to help to loosen and relax the muscles. Typically, I do like to recommend some sort of short course of muscle relaxants, even after a person does sessions of massage and physio. Okay, it does help with the entire process. Not everybody is open to taking medication, and that's fine. But if a person is open to taking medication, I would highly recommend you take some sort of muscle relaxation mixed with anti-inflammatories after your sessions. Where massage is concerned, if a person has tight muscles, the massage can help to release the tension in the muscles. Now, in the case of arthritis, a person may also have some muscular tension that is adding to the arthritic pain. So massage and physiotherapy can help with arthritis pain, okay? Because what happens is by releasing the muscular tension, the pain of arthritis can become less. Physiotherapy, meaning exercises and stretches that can help to give you back the mobility of the neck, that can help to strengthen the muscles that support the neck. Okay, so as well too, certain physiotherapy exercises can help with some posture correction. For example, if a person is on a laptop or at a desk for 8 to 10 hours a day, and they're like this looking at your laptop, what tends to happen is the person may develop a posture where the upper back becomes rounded and the head is thrown forward like that. Okay, so one exercise that we may recommend is something called chin tucks. With the chin tuck exercise, we advise that you take a break from your desk every hour or half an hour and do some chin tucks in a private area. So how the chin tuck is done: hold as you go back and relax. Hold, relax. Okay, so this helps with the cervical retractor muscles and can help with correcting this position. It can help you to get away from this to a more upright and a more natural position, a position where the neck muscles and the trapezius muscles are not being overworked. So I mean, you can imagine if the head is just forward just for a couple centimeters, but you have to maintain, the muscles have to work 8, 10, 12 hours a day to hold your head in this slightly forward position. This is a lot of extra work for these muscles to do. Okay. Another myth that people get involved in is that they tell themselves, okay, I'm going to remember to hold my head up straight. Okay, now that doesn't work, okay, because after 30 seconds you already have forgotten and you will default right back into what is natural for you. So what you have to do, you have to actually train the muscles by doing this continuously, so that unconsciously the muscles have been trained to hold your head in a proper position. The other exercise that can be done to deal with the upper back. Okay, so additionally, when we treat neck pain, we're not just dealing with the neck alone. Okay, you have to treat the spine as one. So in dealing with neck pain, we have to deal with the neck, upper back, and lower back. Sometimes pelvis. Sometimes a person has foot issues that could be related to the neck as well. So it's not just about the neck. Okay, it's about the entire body. It's about the entire spine. Pelvic alignments too as well may play a role in causing spinal issues in the lower back, which then tracks all the way up into the neck. Okay. There are other modalities that can help to relax muscles. Things like electrical therapy, therapeutic ultrasound, and needling. So electrical therapy more refers to the TENS. By applying an electrical current in a certain manner and pulsing it in a certain way, you can actually cause muscles to relax. Ultrasound. Now when I say ultrasound, I don't mean imaging ultrasound. The imaging ultrasound is when the sonographer takes the probe and tries to look inside the body. That's imaging ultrasound. The ultrasound I'm speaking about here is therapeutic ultrasound. That is where, for example, there's a probe on the machine, and this uses high frequency sound waves to actually go into the muscles and helps to actually relax the muscles where it may be a bit more tight than usual. Okay, or those tight spots may be referred to as trigger points or knots, as some people call them. Needling or dry needling. So what can be done here? Again, this pertains to trigger points. For example, let's say a person on the trapezius, if there's a lump here and it's very painful if you press on it. That is what is called a trigger point. Now, a simple explanation of a trigger point: it is a zone of muscle that is a lot more tight or tighter than the rest of the muscle. So, for example, if this is a muscle here, and let's just say this muscle is under some tension, there may be certain spots here where there may actually be more tension than the rest of the surrounding muscles. And to release that, a needle, an acupuncture needle, is put into that zone, and that helps to actually relax that spot, and that can actually lead to less muscle tension overall, which can then lead to less neck pain. And there's a trigger point injection. Now, with trigger point injection, again, it pertains to the trigger points, but in this case, with needling, with dry needling, as it suggests, dry needling, there's no drug involved with this form of needling. Trigger point injection or wet needling, that is when let's say lidocaine is pulled up into a syringe. Normally, like I say, 1 mil of lidocaine, it can be injected into the trigger point. So in this case here, with the trigger point injection or the wet needling, an actual syringe with a drug is injected into the trigger point to help your release. Okay, so that's the difference mainly between the dry needling and the wet needling. With wet needling, there's an actual drug being injected into the area. The home program. Now, it's all well and good to do therapy sessions at a clinic, no problem with that. But what happens is there's a concept, there's something called quote-unquote muscle memory. Okay, so what happens with this in this muscle memory is, for example, if a muscle is accustomed being tight due to certain activities or certain posture that you have, the muscle wants to go back to that state. Okay, so you come to a clinic session. Massage is done, you release the tension in the muscle, and now the muscle goes down from this level of tension to this level of tension. Now, as you step out of the clinic, the muscle wants to go back to that level of tension where it was accustomed to. Okay. Now, to retrain the muscle to more or less stay at a lower level of tension, you have to do your home program. You have to tell the muscle, no, We don't want you at this level of tension. We want you here, okay? And that is what the home program, a consistent home program, is all about. So don't rely only on the clinic sessions. Listen to the therapist instructions, whatever exercises that they give you to do at home. Exercises, stretches, self-massages, strengthening exercises, mobility exercises. You need to do them. Okay? So the home program is very essential. It will also, if you are diligent with your home program, you're going to find that you need less clinic sessions overall. Okay, but it's better for you. You'll make a faster recovery. It'll be cheaper for you in the long run. Okay, so these are the general ways, non-surgical ways in which we can deal with neck pain. Now, there may be certain conditions where surgery may unfortunately become inevitable. We did have a client here who had a very severe herniation of the disc, and he had to do surgery. Now, in his case, what happened, and I'll show you his x-ray. So, remember we spoke about the disc herniation, and the disc herniation again can become so severe that your legs can also lose strength. So, for example, this is again his disc herniation was very large, and it actually knocked out part of his spinal cord. Okay, and because of this degree of compression, remember the leg nerves, they join the spinal cord and they travel upwards. So there are leg and arm nerves all inside here. So when this disc compressed, the spinal cord, his leg nerves and his arm nerves were also affected. And that's why he lost a significant amount of strength in the arms, in both arms and legs. So what was done in his case is that his neurosurgeon, this was done locally, his neurosurgeon actually removed this entire disc. This entire disc was removed and they put in an artificial disc, and they took plates and screws and they fixed these two bones here to prevent movement. Okay, so currently he is doing better. He's starting to regain strength in his legs because now the spinal cord is no longer compressed. It is still injured because remember the disc was compressing here for a while. The cord is still injured, but it no longer has this continuous insult to it, and it increases the chance of recovery. And in a case like this, physiotherapy is still indicated. You have to really make use of the nerves that are left there to re-strengthen the limbs. So I'm going to show you his post-surgical x-ray. Okay, so here is that's it right there. So you can see right here, that here is where the plate and screw were used to fix those two bones. Okay, and this white, that's the staples. That used to staple the skin after they did the surgery. Okay, this was done through the neck, so the surgeon made an incision here and removed the disc from the front and then put in the plates and the screws, okay, from the front. So this is his post-surgical x-ray right here. Okay, that's his side shot. I don't have the front shot. Okay, here's the front shot. That's the front shot right there. Okay, so you can see that here. Okay, so that is again a summary as to how neck pain can be managed from a non-surgical point of view, and of course the extreme and where surgery is actually performed. Nice.